So I am, without further ado, gonna hand over to our man-at-arms, wagon builder extraordinaire, who is already sharing his screen on medieval wagons and its tutorial. So once again, welcome to the castle, and let's learn something from one of our elderly members.
Thanks, Billy. Elderly. Okay, so I think the thing to remember with medieval wagons or carts, we're going to go into that now, is again, you can build what you want to from your imagination. And I'm going to show examples of it. First, some examples I got off the internet, but I'm also going to show examples of lug builders. And after I've done this, I want Ferry to show his two carts that he's got there on his builds, which is actually quite similar to what we're going to talk about. So, I mean, what types of carts or wheelbarrows or wagons do we get? We get normal wheelbarrows you can build. You can do carts, you can do a two-wheeled wagon, or you can do a four-wheeled wagon. And I actually went into the history of it a little bit. So in the beginning of medieval ages, they actually used oxen and cows to pull their wagons. It was only at a later stage where they started using horses. So if you're lucky enough to actually have some, I'm going to say, cows in your arsenal, you can always use them. I see Billy is smiling there because he's got a couple. But if you don't have it, I mean, horses will do fine, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. But this first picture is just an example of I want to say, a two-wheel cart. Okay, so next. This one, and actually I didn't put the link in here, but if you're going to zaLUG, they've actually got a whole page dedicated to building a wagon. So it doesn't have to be something that we do on our own and struggle with. There's actually people that have done it and they're actually sharing it. So this picture as well, I mean, just to show you what you basically need is a 2x8, wheels, and I'll go through the inventory list later on. If you're lucky enough to have, I want to say that, and that's usually some of the cars sets, then you can do that. You can actually do it as a swivel as well on them. That's basically another one, which they've done. And what I do like, what they did here was using the ladders on the sides. And if you look at the one on the right, they just put it at an angle and made like a little ramp in the back.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's a simple wagon. Yeah. So yes, two more pictures, and then this is actually the one I've got an inventory for. Now, this one you can actually get on the Bricklink. The whole downloaded this with parts and everything. You go to Bricklink, you type in medieval wagon, and this one pops up. Now, the interesting thing about this one is what you can see is the angle they created here. But also, again, parts using. When if you look,
I love those little sacks on the side of the driver.
On there.
That's pretty cool.
Something that is also, I want to say, different is the use of that rope, which they did on the sides. But again, using basically all the stuff we already have. I mean, okay, I don't think everybody's got a bread loaf. If you're lucky enough to have a bread loaf, you're lucky. Bananas, barrels, stalks. I mean, that's normal pins. That's just normal pins they've got. Then technique pins, which looks like stalks. And basically, this is the list. If you've got this list of items, you can basically build your first car or your first wagon. It's going to depend on you how big you want to make it, how long you want to make it, how broad you want to make it. But this is basically what you're going to need.
How big is that wheel, that wagon wheel? Which you get various sizes, don't you?
That's going to depend on you. You can have, if you want to well, for that, Luigi, you can have the big one in the back and the little ones in front.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. The problem is, how available are those on Bricklink? Because the last time I went looking for wagon wheels, I mean, that's quite a while ago. There was literally nothing available.
Well, I can tell you, Luigi, whenever I Bricklink, I look for them. You know, you often find a couple in a store. I'm sure Ferdi will be able to source some. He has the ability to do that. But they're not too scarce. Look, they're not everywhere, but you will be able to find them. And I mean, I'm sure if you need 4 or you need 2, we can talk and we can organize within the group. Because I know Hilton's got plenty that he wants to give away. I do.
Well,
no,
I don't know if
but
I'm going to give them away. I mean, but
no,
yeah,
that's fine. I'm more
No,
interested in
I'm just
sourcing for
kidding.
myself, but that's interesting because
Yeah.
I do like the smaller ones, but yeah, I've been battling to find them.
so even
Paul,
The brown ones are harder to find.
can I quickly ask? I think Paul, you probably know best. Which of the sizes are the easiest to get out of the small, the medium, and the large ones?
The smalls they don't really make anymore. They used to do them on the old cowboy sets, and some of the old Fright Night sets used to get the small ones. So you only really get them in old dark brown. So, but the mediums, I think, are the easiest to get, but they're normally only available in reddish brown.
That's the medium.
Yeah, that one
That's the
displayed there, I
small.
think it's a medium.
Yeah, and that's the
Just
small.
Talk
Just so you
or
have the
focus it because we're
comparison.
not seeing.
There you go. Can you see? Well, I'll
you're
show
not-
it again when Hilton's
Okay, got it.
shared screen is not there.
yeah, then we could do
Okay.
big screen.
But then
Okay,
you
you
also
also-
get
Yeah.
a large, and you get, I think, an extra large.
I think this is the extra large. The ones that, well, the ones that you get in the princess sets are extra large, right?
And those are the big ones.
And then if you browse Bricklink, you might be able to find the tan wheels, which are actually also quite a nice variant to have because you don't get the black one so much anymore.
Tan wheels were also mostly cowboy sets, Paul.
I don't know. I never actually saw tan wheels in any set.
I'm just thinking the Lone Ranger sets, but those were black ones. On the Lone Ranger sets, they were black wagon wheels.
Yeah, well, I don't own any tan wheels, so I hope some of you do.
Paul probably does.
Paul gave all his Lego to me yesterday. He doesn't have anything left.
Oh, okay. You're lucky. Okay, and then
Somebody's got to sort it.
Yeah. So also it's the hinge bricks, which we can use. I'm going to show you now examples of that as well. I mean, that part is one you get, I want to say 90% to most of your 4+ car sets which you buy. So I think, I mean, I want to say most of us will have that somewhere in our arsenal line, which we can use. But you can also get it in the 2x4, which you can also use then for that. Okay, any questions on the parts list?
That makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to show some more just examples of, I want to say, what we've got available and what you can do. I mean, if you look at the one on the left, what the guy did, this is an LDD one, but I mean, if you look at the lights, that stuff we do have, which is put on the sides. I mean, the detail on the side, yeah, the wagon, And actually, if you go and Google wagons, you actually find one of these, which is this build, which actually opens up with detail inside.
Oh, that's cool.
It actually opens up on that side, like a stall, which you can sell goods out of. Okay. As I said, using a cow. But I mean, I like the interesting way they did the wheel here, just to make it lower. Which is just the
more
round.
Flintstone-like.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, there's another one which is the same. And I think this one is quite an easy build to do as a car. I mean, there's really nothing complicated to this with just the pumpkins on it, which is something you can use as well. I'm now going to just show some examples. I was lucky enough to get pictures, I want to say, of previous displays where everybody had a wagon in and we didn't even know about it. So it took me a while to filter through them, but I mean, I'm just going to show you some. And I think, well, Willie, Paul, just chip in. I'm not sure which belongs to which. I've got a fair idea, but I mean, you can just say and maybe comment on that as well. So there's the first one I found. If I'm not mistaken, this was maybe George's. I'm not sure. But the interesting thing is the use of that part, the droid part, which we spoke about last week as well, which Willie spoke about you could use for vegetation, but actually use there to create a car.
Yes. The droid arm is very nice to use, not only in the carts, but also in vegetation, and also actually making fences, building trees, building droids.
So multiple uses. Like I know this one is Paul's. That one.
No, that's mine.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Now you see, that's why I'm asking about chipping. But I mean, check out what Willie did. Again, with parts usage on the sides. And
I like the angle.
Yeah, and the angle, which he created.
I've got to say, just quickly, the plan for that wagon is Paul's. So Paul designed the wagon for us, and then on that initial design or the blueprint, we have been playing around quite a bit with different wagons. So you know, building it in different ways, because once you have the idea, there really is no stopping your imagination, you know, from building different things. So we have actually been building quite a couple of these. Okay, you can, sorry, Hilton, go ahead.
No worries. So hopefully we can see them at the next Brick Fair. That's for William Paul. Then I know this
have a wagon showdown.
Yeah, exactly. I know this one is Paul's, that I do know. But look at what he did with a battle. Just a short little two-wheeled cart. The guy's gonna get a drink. So it tells a story. I mean, again, I think the nice thing about this is where the wagon fits into the vegetation, which you spoke about last week, in the build itself.
Can I ask that Paul quickly, just Paul, I know you touched on this the other day when you showed us the pics of the swamp that you built, but can I ask that you quickly just talk about the trail behind that float?
Yeah, it was.
Ferry, sorry.
Well, we were discussing the fact that we normally use trans bricks to depict water, and so a swamp is normally trans green. But for this swamp, I wanted to depict a swamp covered in duckweed, basically, which is a bright green. So in this, what is it? So it's a raft, but it's actually
Mhm.
a
It's
ferry.
like a ferry.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. It's actually parting the water, or
Yeah,
parting
it's
the
a very,
duckweed,
very
so
nice
you can
effect.
see the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, you can see in which way it's moving towards the other pier or whatever. But yeah, really, really nice.
Yeah. But I must say, making fishes jump out of the water was also a lot of fun in this one.
I was gonna ask you to talk about that as well, but you've done that already. What the part that we see holding up the fish on the left, that is the if I remember correctly, was that the antenna part?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little bit of an illegal technique.
What, did you take the black antenna out and then stick the tail in?
I just stuck the fish
Yep.
tail in.
Yeah.
And then
So
the
it's
one on the
this-
right, where he's splashing into the water.
It's
is
this
one
part
of-
for those who don't know it. It's an old space part. Well, predominantly used in the space, but in the space sets.
Peter used
How
one as
easy is it
a
to
red one as
remove
a flower
that
earlier.
lever from that
Very
without
easy.
breaking?
It's
Oh,
this
is it?
easy.
You just pull it out.
This
It's,
one
it's
seems to
about
be
as easy as
stuck
losing an
down.
ostrich's head.
No, it's easy. There you go. You just part it
Okay.
and
Okay.
you pop it back in again.
And they're actually not expensive, right? I mean, they only get really pricey when you want different colors antennae. Then if you want to use them for like plant stalks. But I mean, as something to hold something in place, it's actually pretty cool.
Yes, it's nice to have different colors for different options. Okay, let's all right, cool. Let's move along. I see Peter also has to what is the time now? Sorry, I can't see. We have okay, don't worry, we have plenty of time. All right, cool. Thanks. World-class build, Paul.
Love it.
This is one art that was literally an easy one for me. It was basically just to fill a space. But I mean, I did it with 3 barrels and 2 pigs in them. I mean, but you can use it for anything that you want.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
the EV, right?
Sorry?
That's the EV.
Yeah.
It's an electric vehicle. Just need to put the solar panels on. There we go.
Exactly. Well, that's yeah, it's peak power.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's this one. Okay, I don't know who's built
That's
this
cool.
one.
No, it's mine as well.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's a compliment every time somebody says that's Paul's, and it's mine.
No, I wasn't sure about this one. I really wasn't sure.
I actually have that one standing next to me here, Hilton. It's one of the first ones I did, and I was particularly proud of the way I made it arch at the top. And what you see in the back there, the straw, is nothing more than a tan version of the bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
again,
cool.
I mean, yeah, the use
Is
of
that
the
a wheel
scope.
arch in that you used?
There. Yes.
Yeah. Very cool.
I think this is the last one. I think this is one of George's ones, which he did.
Yes, that is from George's major battle scene, Chima / soldiers / every Lego culture ever fighting each other.
Yeah. And I think he used marbles, yeah, which is quite interesting.
Are you sure those are marbles and not the what's it? The spheres?
GBC.
Oh, I don't know. It could be.
No. These things. Oh, fuck, where are they?
Are you talking about the one? Are you talking about the part, Ferdi, that was the same size as Saruman's eye? What's it? The Palanthea.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Talk about that. I don't know if you
Palanthea.
can see the camera there.
Oh, I'm going to stop
you see the
sharing now
camera?
because this was my last slide. You can quickly show us.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
So the part, Zamospheres or what?
Hilton, you're still sharing.
Okay, sorry for that. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, so that looks like Zamospheres to me.
Oh,
And
those.
they're basically slightly bigger than a GBC ball. You just get a GBC ball.
Eddie, what are you doing with all of those?
With what?
All those
These.
silver and gold balls.
Well, at some point I'll build a multi-ball GBC, which can run multiple sizes, but that's not this week, right?
And can you please get those in between like all the other balls in the GBC at the next convention?
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't know why they're getting stuck.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's, the one loop I did the other day, actually, there was one for Brick Feather where I was going to run, which would actually filter them out halfway through, which was pretty cool. But anyhow, but yes, I mean, I think that's that. If I look at what he's got there and the era that he built it,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
there
wanted
we
to-
go.
yeah. So I mean, so maybe just from this, so the one on the right hand side, that's just a like literally an axle and wheels and 1x4 or 2x4 and oak lying on it. And then that is from the original goat set. But I just swapped out the cow now. That's actually the right horse over there, should be there. And again, I think the width here is what was interesting for me, right? Because you guys remember that I went like, so what is the size we should be building our roads at for the right width of the wagons? And those two will work. So that will work and that will work. But the one from the, what is the set we just got? The castle set.
Blacksmith.
Blacksmith, yeah, thank you. So that's that one, but that's wide, eh? I mean, that's like 8 wide.
That's 8 studs.
Yeah, and that doesn't fit on our roads.
Mm.
So I mean,
Of course,
there's
it's a
definitely
foreigner's card. Look at his yellow skin.
which is exactly the same as the original castle's yellow skin.
Fabi,
But- yeah.
just on the cart on the right.
Yes.
Can you just turn it? I just want to see the back, what you did there, because that's quite interesting. There we go.
Yeah. So that's basically our use of
Yeah.
those little
That's actually nice.
jobbies, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, for Lugbok, we got brown ones. So I must actually replace it just with the brown ones. That's not a bad idea.
Because I like that idea. That's quite nice.
Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, and this was literally, I just put this together when I was testing this road over here, just to have something to give me some sort of scale.
Yeah, but it works very well with that statue on it and the guy with the masonry hammer.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if it's a rock mason or someone that just committed murder. I'm not quite sure what the story is.
It all depends
If
on
someone's
the look on his face.
died and has gone completely grey, I'd be leaving town. I'd be very worried about what bacterial infection is infecting people that's leaving them grey.
Immediate calcification of the body. But yeah, so I hope we're going to be getting homework to go and build our own carts, because I haven't really. These two are definitely from sets.
Yes.
And I'd like to go and actually just try my hand at building my own thing, or building something, I suppose. That's cool. But no, thanks for the card session. I mean, it was really interesting to see the cards that you guys done before, and that a lot of them are actually very utilitarian, right? And I suppose that makes sense at the end of the day.
But that's the thing, you can make your wagon the way you want to. I mean, if you look at that one Billy did, the big one with the red, the parts usage there, and I know Billy and Paul are working on those wagons, which were part of a Brick Fair build. And once you see what they've done as well, I mean, it actually makes sense why they did it that way. So it actually tells the story as well. So if you do your wagon, let it tell a story.
The one wheel set that I've got no idea if I'll ever use them is probably those guys. I mean, the DVG, mense is groot. It's cool though. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be some kind of a war machine or something.
Yeah.
It's gonna have wheels like that.
Yeah, dragged by your rock monsters.
Something like that. Or even a dragon.
Even a
It
dragon.
was actually.
Yeah.
Willie, I don't know if you've got a photo of the one with the orc in it. I've got one.
You're not on this laptop that I can share, but let me quickly figure out if have you got a photo?
Yeah, I'll quickly just find it. Just hold on.
Are you talking about the cart that I put the Goblin King in?
Yes.
Good.
Well,
Yes,
the
that
photo
was
I've got, that was an epic build. The picture
that was a
I've
lot
got
of fun.
there, but I can quickly find it.
Okay, let me quickly while you share
cool.
that, let me quickly share this. This is the cart that we were looking at earlier. So
Oh, nice.
I have changed it slightly since. Now you were asking about that specific area there, right, Fabi? Like
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that is nothing except like a little 1x2 hinge.
Okay.
You know, with the front. So you got the 1x1 clip that is standing up, and the hinge on top of it that is giving it that
Angle. Yeah.
You can see it there. And then I just put a wedge plate in there, you know, to cover the back so that the straw doesn't fall, so that the straw doesn't fall out. But what I want to show you here, what I was quite excited about the day I built it. I don't know, let me just hold it still. Can you see the way that I used the whip to attach it to the back of the oxen to give him some way of steering?
But still have a whip like feel to it. Yes.
Yes, and he's got it. So he's got the whip in his hand, but he's got the other part is used for a different reason. And then I found just adding the little piece of rope, even though it's, you know, it's not really helping the build or in any way, as in holding anything down. Just adding that in there to show that the oxen is tied, you know, to a part of this structure, you know, just making it a little functional, but it's not functional at all in the build. I enjoy doing that. So sometimes it's the little details that you just add in. You don't really need to, you know, that in the end actually works for you. But yeah, just by the way,
doesn't the pink snout freak you out a little?
Well, I guess I can always put my finger there, then you don't see it.
No, I mean, yeah, no. So I mean, it's weird, right? Because the Jersey cows, the Frieskoeien, they don't have like big ass snouts, but for some reason, our meaty cows, they've got big ass snouts that are pink. I sometimes really just don't get what they're doing with their colors. That's just weird.
Yeah.
I'm quickly gonna share. Sorry, Willie. I'm just sharing.
Yes, go for it.
Go for it.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah, just enlarge or just zoom. Just maximize, Hilton. You've got your whole screen in. You've got your whole laptop screen in.
Oh. What are they doing there? Hold on. Let me fix that.
It was earlier when you thought you stopped sharing, it just went and minimized or just went smaller.
Can I just quickly see? That better?
No.
Same.
Don't worry. Just zoom in.
Yeah, they're doing that.
Hey, Jedi Fallen Order.
So I'm just going to zoom in a bit, yeah. But I mean, I like when Willie showed this the first time, he got his, I want to say, orc inside. But then if you look at the build itself, it is actually just brick build with the wheels. Which wheels did you use for this, Billy? Because I see it's just those round.
Those are I believe 4x4 rounds.
Yes.
Bricks. They're just bricks.
Yeah, it looks like those. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Now there we go. Yeah.
They're bricks,
Nice.
and I just decorated them, or actually they're plates that I put on top of each other in the end, because I found the bricks were a little too wide for me if I wanted to do the decoration. What you can't see there is that a lot of the gray you see is actually flat silver, or you know, some of the different variants of the more metal color at the top.
there.
Yes. But like those little the 1x1 rounds at the top, and then also the back actually opens up. The whole back of that, I still have that. The back of it opens up all the way down, so he can walk out, as you know. Well, otherwise, how would they get him in there?
Magic.
And it also
Could you
locks. Yeah.
Okay. Could you send us a picture of those wheels? I'm really intrigued with what you've done with those wheels. But I need
Oh,
to
well,
try.
Luigi, it's
Yeah, I
really
can-
simple. I will.
Okay, thanks. But something
I think it's just very sneaky that you use a
wooden wood.
Technics brick at the top there, and decorated with your inverse 1x1 purpose.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and they say that system builders can't find a use for Technique parts.
Well, not if you Star Wars, right? Because it is 90% Technique.
No, structure is yeah, there's a lot of structure that can be built with brilliant Technique, you know,
So
bricks and
So
parts.
you guys did this type of builds when we did our display in 2019. It wasn't the Mills standard, right? I think the first Mills standard what you guys did was for Brick Fair, if I remember correctly.
Well, yeah, so Ferry,
So
I mean,
what's the
William
history
also
there?
just chip in here. So we've done molds. I mean, this particular picture I just showed you was from Clearwater 2019.
Yes.
So, and there's a lot of other pictures there as well. But I mean, before that, we did the molds. We tried something different for 2019, just to, I want to say, break the monotony. But then we're going back now basically to the molds again, because the whole idea is we want to do the collaboration with everybody.
Yes.
The reason saying that it doesn't help is just myself, Billy, and Paul, and
because that gets lonely, right?
Yeah, because then it's only 4 of us. So the idea is
Yes.
if we do molds now again, molds is to get all of you guys involved. That's why Billy said with the 16x16 for like Luigi, even if you do it, well, 3x3, I mean, it's enough that we can actually incorporate it into the molds. So it doesn't have to be big, it can be small, but we want to incorporate it into the molds system.
Okay, no, because I mean, the first time I clapped eyes on it was then probably Clearwater 2019. I wasn't aware that you guys actually slapped together some molds before.
Yeah, we did. We did from, well, 2017, 2016 actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think the castle group as a whole has been, we've been going strong for probably 5 years now, 5 or more, even more. I don't know if Paul knows the date. Paul?
Not a clue.
Okay, well, anyway, I remember that I did my first castle build for iTech build that I can't remember we did again in like for many years.
We only did once.
And yeah, we did one. I can't remember what year that was because that would give us an exact date. 2015.
Yeah, it was 2015.
Yeah, probably.
So that's like down in the Val, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were standing on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, so like Hilton said, we've been fluctuating between things, but there was the brick fair that swamp Paul built is from was probably the brick fair
Hyde
that we
Park.
did. Eh?
That was 2018 Hyde Park.
Yeah, but he also had that swamp at brick fair in the parking lot, I believe.
At the
It
Grove.
was
Yeah.
Paul's build on the left and mine in the center, and then Mornay's castle on the right.
Yes.
That he ceremoniously dunked into a plastic container after the show. Anyway, but yeah, we've been fluctuating in and out, and we probably will be again, you know, for the future again. You know, the mills is a thing we want to get, like Hilton said, everybody involved in. But if you want to do small builds in between, please, we'll put them in the castle area. I mean, we've done things as simple as races, you know, like building elves and building you know, dry or you know, like ents or whatever you want to build. You know, it's fantasy. If you want to build purple turtles, you can do that as well. We'll put them under the table, but that's okay.
Double-sided tape.
Yeah. Anyway,
Guys, I've got
okay.
an old LDD file lying here. Just if you guys don't mind if I share it.
No, please do.
No,
Please.
please.
As long as it's not a purple turtle, Paul.
Can you see my screen?
Here we
Okay,
go.
that's Wheels.
Okay.
So this is actually an old file I have lying around called Transport.
No, that's the
These
second
are
one. Yeah.
the original hockey pucks. If you can get hold of those, they make wonderful little wheels. This one is obviously the one they don't make anymore.
Yeah, the next size
This-
up. Do
this
we know
one-
what the part number is? No, next one down.
This one,
That. Yeah, what is that part number?
that's 2470. It's the old one that they don't really make anymore.
Okay, but
This
if I can
is
find that
pretty
on
much
Bricklink.
just- You can get it on Bricklink. I was just there a second or two ago. I did see some.
Can you just WhatsApp the number? I don't have anything to write with right now.
You can just
Um,
watch the video and rewind and rewind.
Oh, I probably could.
Okay, so
Luigi,
I'll
the
click on
trick with
each
all of
one so
this
that
stuff.
the number
Sorry?
appears.
No, I say the trick with all of the stuff in Bricklink is you need to kind of build a little memory map for yourself in terms of areas that you always go into, even if you're not buying the day. And sometimes you're just surprised what you find there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, I'm not that affair with Bricklink, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Okay, so one thing I did want to say is transport is not always got wheels, because I don't know if you've seen some of my previous builds. I have a lot of guys that actually carry baskets on their back, or you get the traveling merchants that sell pots and pans. Something you can also do is a wheelbarrow.
Mm.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
normally I use the cuttable tubing to do these short bits.
The 3 mil.
Yeah,
The cuttable one.
yeah.
Mm.
And
It's got the cutting marks on it, right?
yeah. Just basic carts that have been covered. You can use different size wheels. You don't have to have all the same size. Different carts, different items. There's that cart Philly referred to. It's actually a gypsy wagon. It actually has a special name, which I cannot recall right now.
Nice.
But yeah, so I basically just, there's so much variation you can do in carts. It's actually a lot of fun.
Especially since they brought out the 2x2 tile with the wood finish on. It's really nice to put logs on the bigger carts that Paul showed there. I remember you having the logging zone or area, Paul, where we still joke about where the pig was lying on its side and the one guy was being dragged through the mud, and people just kept on trying to pick them up and put them on their feet. But yes, so little things like that. If you look out for little parts like that, they often add to what you can do and make it nicer. It's like if you look at the blacksmith build where they have the 1x1 wood tiles now, looks beautiful next to the house there.
I actually think I used some of that when I did my pig eats pig. What?
I thought it was brilliant.
This castle group can be compared to Lord of the Rings more than Game of Thrones. So I don't know.
That's all good.
About the cannibalism.
Luigi, I just added a link to Bricklink with all the wagon wheels.
Ah, cool. Thank you. Thank you.
The WhatsApp group.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no, thanks. I appreciate it.
There's Willie back.
There you go. So I've got this. Unfortunately, the rider just came off. I think she was intoxicated. But yeah, the way I had her on there differently. But as you can see, I think what I liked most about doing this was the fact that it was big enough for me to add doors on the front where the rider was, and then actually, the windows.
The nice
on the back.
hinges was a nice touch.
The swords.
Yeah, as hinges, very cool.
Yeah, if you look at some of the boulders that we mentioned the other day, I think Paul, you mentioned Durfell, Kadan, and Cesbrick, and a couple of guys when we spoke. I think it was the first time. It's a thing that was started quite a while ago, where you use all different things for the door hinges and for the door. What do you call that? It's not a decoration. It's like what makes it strong. Anyway, it's Friday night.
Reinforcement.
Reinforcement. There you go. Okay. Yeah, you can use so many different things, and little swords are actually very nice to use. So yeah, look for those as well when you are scanning through Bricklink.